Guys, welcome back to another edition of That Fuzz and Rock Show interviews. Got a great one for you today, man. I've been excited to talk to this dude for quite a while now, so we're going to bring him right in. Dean Roberts, the LEATHERWOLF. Sir, how are you today, man?
I'm good. Hello, everybody.
It's good to see you, man. Listen, first, Dean, I want to thank you for taking your time out to hang out with us today. Definitely appreciate you being here. Let's get right into it, man. So we're here to talk about the new release, Kill the Hunted. It's due out November 11th on Annihilate Records. We're going to talk more about that in just a few minutes, but let's talk about the band itself first. When did you guys first get together?
Me and Carrie and Jeff got together probably I think it was 1980 at a party. Me and Carrie went to high school together, and we just started, playing music. And played a party, ran into Jeff, and started playing with him. And then that's where it all started. Then, I think about a year or two later, Mikey came around. Might have been sooner, might have been later. I don't remember exactly. And we just started playing. And we were always looking for a singer for the first couple of years. And so basically, Mikey turned into the singer.
Now, it's right now after you guys had quite a few lineup changes and stuff like that.
Well, officially, just to be clear on that stuff, it's we've had two different bassists for live, and we've had three different bass players that performed on records, but never played live. And we've had maybe 2, 3, just 4 different guitar players, over 30 years, 20 years.
Which is pretty good numbers. Not too bad anyways.
Well, I was looking at that compared to Iron Maiden, to where they started and where they are today.
Sure.
And, it just interests me because when I go, okay, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I guess it is a lot. But then you start looking at Iron Maiden, or you start looking at some of the other bands. It's really rare to have someone like ZZ Top, someone that sticks it out, or like Judas, when they stuck it out for a bit,
Sure, absolutely. So now the lineup currently is it's you and Rob, correct?
Yeah, and Rob's been around for 12 years.
Sure, and then you got Keith on the vocals.
Yeah, he's a brand new guy.
Yep. And then it's Luke and Wayne.
Yeah, Luke is he's been around since 2018, or maybe 2016, I think, when we went to Europe to play a tour, and then we went to Germany 2018 to play. And and Wayne came around because he's such a good musician, and when the decision was made to move on and from the guys, the few guys that were left, I had to start thinking about live shows,
Sure, absolutely.
And so I had to figure out, do I want to be the triple X and playing those songs legitimately, or do I just want to go trim it down to one guitar?
Right.
And, personally, I've always liked the 3 guitar thing, and I've always liked keyboards too. And so I figured at least if we got someone that could do that, we could, live, we could reproduce at a higher level,
Absolutely. So then now rounded out, you have Barry, right? And weren't those guys Wayne and Barry? Weren't they from
Michael Shankman?
Thank you. I almost had it.
Ted Nugent,
Yep.
Scorpions, Yngwie Malmsteen,
Yeah. So how's this new formula working out? It sounds like it's
Barry. I just really lucked out, dude, playing with someone like Barry, because Barry's one of the best metal bass players on the planet, and he's a talented musician, and he's just top of the food chain, in ability, And it turns out he was friends with Rob Matt back in the 90s. They toured and did some things together. So it was just interesting, because when this started, there was questions about Paul playing, and Pat was maybe going to play. But as it turns out, I just got someone that's just a much higher level player,
No, absolutely.
And I was really grateful for that, that I could do that, But then when, Robbie, basically, me and Robbie sat in the garage for a couple of years and basically, did all the tracking, parts, wrote the second guitar line parts, wrote the harmonies, sat around and just created stuff for these songs,
So let's go back in history ways. We're gonna go back to The first few records, well, first couple records. So it was you guys put out Leatherwolf in '87, Street Ready in '89. I think it was World Asylum and New World Asylum in like 06, 09, around there.
Yeah.
And now it's Kill the Hunted, which is coming out obviously November of this year. So how has, in your opinion, how has the band's sound changed from '87 to today's new stuff that's coming out?
Well, our first record was at '83 on Tropical.
Okay.
I think Leatherwolf, as Leatherwolf, was the best it ever was in the '80s. I think when we came back, I don't think the drive was the same level for most of the guys. And so when it came time, we did a live record in '99 or 2000 or whatever. When it came down to writing, Kerry and Mike just had no desire, So Jeff and I had finished it, and I started learning a lot more about the dynamics in that whole thing. Is Jeff was the main dude, he wrote the songs, and plus he could play, and he could and just he naturally had the ability to come up with stuff that was just killer. I thought, where I just don't think. Well, I know for sure Mike and Kerry just don't have that type of drive. Their musical style is different, and so I learned back then that Jeff was pretty much the man when it comes to writing. So it kind of we never kind of got back to where we were in the '80s. So and that lineup only played together for a little bit in the early 2000 and also like 2008, 2009. We only played a little bit,
right?
And then it was never again. So that lineup is probably, at least with me, I'm not going to play with those guys ever again. But I think we were best in our '80s. We were actually cared about Leatherwolf and the band and all that stuff. And so when you compare it to what's going on today, this was I like the musicians now. They're easy to get along with. They're creative. There's no drama. There's no whining about history.
Right. Sure. No. Yeah, I get it. Absolutely.
But this record started off with some of the original guys, and they all basically just disappeared. And so now it's a new set of guys that basically the guys that finished this particular project was me, Barry, Keith Adamiak, and Rob Math. Those are the only guys that performed on this record. And we had a couple special guests by Joel Holstra and Luke Mann. Luke was another guy that played with us back in the past. And he showed up and he played well. So we thought, okay, it helped the song, so we did it, So this particular lineup has only played one show, which was M3. And, I thought we did pretty good,
Right.
And it's fun to play with the guys. So I broke my wrist, and I was supposed to go to Europe and play a couple shows, and I was supposed to go do Rock Timber, but I couldn't play, So
right.
So it appears to be cool. Everything appears to be great, when I get healed and start going to play again,
Hell yeah, absolutely. So that kind of brings us into the new album. It's called Kill the Hunted. It is due out November 11th, Annihilate Records. 11 tracks front to back. It's absolutely killer material, guys. When this comes out, you definitely have to pick it up. So let's talk a little bit about the album. Where did you guys record it?
We recorded the drums in San Diego. Barry recorded his tracks in Texas in his studio. Recorded the guitars and the vocals, and all the editing was done at my studio. And pretty much, and then it's too freaking funny, dude. we were going through some people that were going to mix. Some guys that were
Mhm.
mixing Corn and Five Finger Death Punch, and some Roy Z.
Yep.
And who are phenomenal guys, you know. But
Sure.
then we ran across Randy Burns. Do you know Randy Burns?
I know the name. I've heard the name before. Yeah.
He's like a thrash metal from the 80s and the 90s. He did
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
famous, you know. Yeah. He's
Yep.
so he did our very first record in '83. So
Okay.
so we ran across him, and he mixed a song, and we just thought it was killer.
Mhm.
You know, because he's just got that next level talent, you know. So when
Sure.
you listen to it, it just sounds phenomenal, you know, separational and stuff. So that was a pure luck thing, because some other guys were supposed to mix it, but we just ran into some disagreements about, you know, opinions.
Sure.
And so in all actuality, we lucked out getting Randy to mix this.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. Anyways. So, how long did it take to write this album?
Well, Jeff in the beginning was the main songwriter. He wrote like 70-80% of the guitar riffs, and then I would get him and I would do my arrangement stuff and do my drum tracks, and then we would start writing vocals. And then we had just some issues, and so we parted ways. So me and Robbie, you know, got the scratch tracks. We had done a demo of 4 songs to try to get signed. Because this whole thing began after Rock Hard. Yop asked us if we wanted to make a record on Nuclear Blast.
Right.
And that was with, you know, me and Mike were the only original guys left back then. So we just didn't work out. You know, Mike was, in my opinion, about what Leatherwolf was and what direction we should go in and how we should write things was just different. You know, no right, no wrong.
Sure.
But, you know, I personally had been just funding it, you know, since '99. So I just said, well, if I'm going to pay for something, I just want it to be metal. You know, I want it to be metal, and I want it to be thrashy, and I want it to burn. You know,
100%. Sure.
And so then me and Robbie just sat down and said, okay, dude, we're going to finish this, because the drums are done and the bass is done, you know. So there was a chance that this might not have got finished, you know, because just because you have a one guitar riff doesn't mean it's done. You know, you still got to come up with the second and third guitar part. You have to come up with all the leads. You have to come up with all the specialty things. You have to come up with the vocals. You have to come up with all the bass stuff, you know. And so we just decided to finish. So it took us about probably like 2 years to finish writing the parts for guitar and recording them and finishing the vocals.
Gotcha.
And honestly, that was fun. I mean, because I you know, I was a drummer for Leatherwolf. I never got to until World Asylum, I never got to participate in the creativity part of things, you know. I mean, you could say this and that. I mean, drums add their own element, which is creative in itself, but you know, a lot of people really don't give drummers that much credit in what they do, you know.
No, I agree. I've played drums in the past, and it was it's yeah, you don't necessarily get the credit that everybody else does. Now, do you have a favorite tune on this new album?
I like a few of them all the same. I like Nobody. I like Kill the Hunted. I like Only the Wicked. I like Enslaved. I like The Henchman. You know, I like those songs pretty close to the same, because they're just you know, they're just freaking cool. The Henchman was written by mainly, I mean, Mike and Carrie and Jeff. We wrote a version, or they wrote a version back in like '81, and it never made it anywhere. So in 2003 or 4, I just brought it back to the table with Jeff, and we just started recording it for World Asylum, and it just never got any legs, you know.
Right.
You know, some people just don't like to go back to the past and do that stuff. They just want, you know what, I'm done. Let's move on. Let's create something new. You know, it's cool. You know, but it always stuck with me, that song. I thought it had more to it than met the eye. You know.
Now, do you guys have plans for a tour in support of the album, or is that?
Well, we always want to play, but it's you need to get a booking agent to get on the shows.
Gotcha.
So we're just going to see what this record does. You know, we haven't I mean, it's really hard when you do a record like every 15 years to stay on the map, you know?
No, I agree. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about you for a minute. What about some of your influences? What are your influences drum wise?
Like Led Zeppelin, John Bonham,
Mhm.
Deep Purple. I like Simon Phillips. I like Cozy Powell. I like Yes. I like Neil Peart.
Oh yeah.
You know.
So
Um, I
go ahead.
guess
I'm sorry.
I mean, I even like funk music. I like the Jackson Five. I like Peter
Mhm.
Gabriel. I like Sammy Hagar. I like Montrose. I like Black Sabbath. You know, and all
So
those
you're
drummers. Were my heroes. But
mhm.
John Bonham is probably like my favorite, just in the way he plays.
Yeah, very strong and powerful. Is there any new bands that kind of caught your ear lately that you
Well, who's the guy that plays for Korn right now? What's his name? I forget his name, but I
man.
don't really know that many new bands.
Right. Yeah,
Do you know the guys in Korn, the new drummer for Korn, or the
yeah,
guy
the
that's
name's slipping my mind right now. It's
like he's another really super good drummer. He played with George Lynch for a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah. Damn. Yeah, I can't remember what his name is for the
Well,
life of me.
yeah, he's another one of my favorite guys. There's certain guys that can just play, and there's another guy, a local guy out here named Dave Good. He's another good drummer. I met him when we were playing in Garden Grove, and he was, the drummer for Black Sabbath was putting a project together, and he was going to play drums.
Mhm.
But he's another really good drummer that, just never got into a big situation.
Right.
But he definitely deserves it.
So what's let's look into the crystal ball a little bit. What's going to be next for Leatherwolf? As if I mean, obviously, if a tour comes, you guys are going to do that. But you guys have plans to write more new stuff after this, or
It's all going to just depend on what happens here. Because I don't really want to spend. It's hard. It's hard to fund a record and make your money back these days.
oh, 100%.
And I don't know if I want to. I mean, dude, I'm just kind of like me and Robbie we're perfectionists. I mean, you listen to that record. I mean, it's just you can tell. That stuff took time, and just to
Yes.
get it on tape. The right performance, it takes time. To get all that shredding guitar on there, all that drum stuff, and all that bass stuff. That tight. That takes time.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So it's tricky, especially since we all have day jobs.
Right.
We have a job 8 to 5, man. So
Mhm.
it's hard to get the time to actually after that go in and start recording.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
it's going to depend on what goes on here with this record. If it takes off enough to where we can at least make an income and then we'll definitely make another record. But if it doesn't, it's extremely hard to get stuff at this level
Mhm.
when other guys have day jobs.
Right. Sure. No, absolutely. So I got a couple of quick things before I let you go. I know I don't want to go over time here, but not that I wouldn't, because I love talking to people and stuff like that. But so I got a couple of quick things before I let you go. And
Okay,
this is
man.
just an
Hey, I'm in no
opinion.
hurry. Look I just had surgery yesterday.
Oh, that you had that yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So couple quick things here.
But I'm feeling fine, buddy. I had a metal plate in there to keep my wrists straight so it could heal.
Right.
And so it was 3 months went by, they took it out. So now I should be able to use my wrist again, in a couple weeks after this, there was a big like metal bar, like 12 inches in there. They bolted it to
Jesus.
my
Wow.
freaking bone.
Well, I'm sure you're ready to get back behind the kid after being laid up like that, right? I mean,
Well, yeah, get back to swimming, playing polo, doing my normal stuff, riding my bike. I haven't been able to do nothing for 3 months,
there you go.
But
Yeah.
they let me swim the last like 2 weeks.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I got a little bit of physical exercise.
There you go. Okay, so let's say you're going out on a tour. You're only allowed 3 albums to bring with you. Which ones are they?
3 Leatherwolf albums?
Nope, 3 any albums that you want for you to listen to. You're allowed to bring 3 out. Which ones are they?
Oh man. Well, I
Yeah,
would
it's a tough
probably
one.
bring Unleashed in the East.
Oh,
I
good
would
one.
probably bring one of the first 3 Iron Maiden records.
Probably Killers, right?
It's tricky because it's like when Judas went from Stained Class to British Steel. It was such a dynamic. So I mean, I probably would be Killers with Paul Di'Anno,
Mm-hmm.
or the second one too, which was freaking phenomenal.
Yep.
I'd probably bring like Physical Graffiti.
Oh, good one.
That's
All right.
Or maybe
I know I
Deep
get down with that. That's a good selections.
Yeah.
So here's another one for you. If you could put together a dream tour with Leatherwolf and any 2 bands, and it could be any 2 bands, doesn't matter who it is, who would it be?
Okay. So for me, it would be Judas, and it would be Al Di Meola.
Ooh.
And
all right.
With Paul McLaughlin, and but the other guy passed away, but Paco de Lucia.
Yeah, man. All right.
Yeah, those guys are. I've always just been super impressed with their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't. They're just phenomenal, dude.
I feel
Al
that.
is just like better than most people on this freaking planet.
Exactly. Yeah.
I watched him play the video with Steve Vai, and Steve Vai's a smoker, but you put them together, Al just kills them,
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to tell the folks before we wrap up here?
Well, just thanks for the interview, and hopefully the record will do something, and you like it, which is kind of cool. So I haven't been thrown under the bus yet from somebody else. I just appreciate the fans that still listen to Leatherwolf, and hopefully this album will be something they like.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be disappointed for sure. And folks, you can and must get the new album from Leatherwolf. It's called Kill the Hunted, out November 11th on Annihilate Records. For more info, you can go to leatherwolfmetal.com or facebook.com/leatherwolf metal. I can't speak today. I'm sorry about that. But Dean, listen, man, I appreciate you sitting down, taking your time with us. And I don't think I need to wish you any luck on the new album, man. It's a stand-up piece. So you guys got something
for a drummer, man.
And I definitely appreciate you, man. And listen, anytime you want to come back on the show, you just let me know. And
nice to meet you. And thank you very much for pumping the record, dude. And I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, Dean, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Right on,
folks. Dean from Leatherwolf. Thank you, Dean.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye now.